What is it you want? Real estate.
I'm with you, Lucy Van Pelt. How are you guys doing today? My name is Apple, and today, as always, we are filling in the financial gap between schools and the real world. And today we're talking about is my real estate investing. So let's talk about my current real estate investing, what I want to do with real estate investing, why I want to do it, and how I am going to make that happen, and how you guys can actually take this stuff and apply it to your own investing, real estate, or otherwise. All right, so without further ado, be sure to share this video with a friend if you think they would get something out of it, if they are into real estate investing at all. Leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and let's get into it. So what I want to do, what do I want to do with real estate investing? I want to invest in buy and hold owner-occupied multifamily real estate. So that was a mouthful. Let's break that down really quick. So buy and hold. I said buy and hold owner-occupied multifamily real estate. So first, buy and hold. Buy and hold is not flipping, it's not wholesaling, it's not anything besides buying a property and holding onto it for the long term. So for like 5 years plus is my definition of long-term buy and hold real estate investing. So I plan to buy and hold some investment properties. Owner occupied is the next thing. So owner occupied means I'm going to live there. So I'm going to buy it, I'm going to live there, and it's going to be multi-family. So multi-family means it's going to be a duplex, a triplex, or a fourplex. Not any more than 4 units though, because that would classify it as a commercial property, and then that's a whole different set of loan criteria that you got to go for. So anywhere between 2 to 4 units is where I'm looking for my first rental property. So just to recap, I said buy and hold. So buy and hold, invest in it for the long term. Owner occupied, so I would be living there. That's going to give me tax advantages. And multifamily, meaning there can be multiple units in this building. That's what kind of real estate I'm looking to get into in the near future. So when it comes to real estate investing, there's so many different kinds of real estate. I mean, you've seen the TV shows on HGTV about fixing and flipping. There's wholesaling, which is basically connecting buyers and sellers to one another. So that can be a good way for some people to get started in the real estate investing market, because it sometimes doesn't need a lot of startup capital for wholesaling. But there's fix and flip, there's wholesaling, there's BRRRR investing, and this is also something that I'm pretty interested in because again, it goes along with the long-term buy and hold investing. So what you do with BRRRR investing is you buy a property, you buy maybe like a multifamily property, maybe a single family house, whatever. So you buy it in not the best condition, so a little bit of a fixer-upper, but could be just cosmetic, or it could be like a bigger project. So basically you buy it, then you rehab it. So the reason you rehab it is to increase the value of the property. So if you bought it for $100,000 in not great shape, you put $20,000 into it, fix it all up real nice, and then it's worth $150,000, you just created some equity in this rehab step. So that is where some value was created. Some value was created by rehabbing the property. Next thing you do is you rent it out to generate some cash flow and just create those monthly income payments to yourself. And then next thing you do is you refinance. So what refinance means is you basically pull out some of the equity that you have in the house. So say you put in $40,000. Now the house is worth $140,000. You can take out that initial $40,000 that you put in, get it back out. So now you have no stake in the house, but you just have equity that you're building, and you now have that money free to go invest in another property, and that's what you do with the repeat step. So that's a cool way to another way to do some buy and hold real estate investing as well. So that's just another aspect of real estate investing you could do. Next thing you do is vacation rentals. There are so many different kinds of real estate investing. You can do vacation rentals, which is basically like where you do Airbnb rentals. You rent out like a room in your house, your basement, your attic, whatever. So people who are coming into town for a vacation could just rent a room for the night, and that can be very lucrative because you can charge a lot more for that. You can charge a lot more than that than you could for renting a place for a long term, which is great. Next thing you could do commercial buildings. You could rent like out office buildings. You could buy office buildings and rent those out to like businesses. You could do some buy and hold. So like what I'm thinking about doing, you could do that with apartments. You could do that with mixed use. So like if there was a store on the bottom level and like apartments up top, you could do that with that. You could do single family buy and hold, multifamily buy and hold, and there's just all these different things that you can do with real estate, all these different ways that you can customize it to fit whatever your investing goals are and your investing needs are. So why do I want to do this? Why do I want to get into real estate? Well, the main reason is it goes with my long-term value investing strategy. So I like to invest in things for the long term. I like to build streams of passive income or less active income than actually going to a 9-to-5 would be. And that is one of the reasons that I see investing in real estate as a good option. I mean, with the type of real estate investing that I'm talking about, it would not be passive income by any stretch of the imagination. If I was managing my own buildings and stuff, maybe if I got a property manager, it would be a lot less active income. But without a property manager, when I'm owner occupying a building, I would definitely be the property manager for that building. So that is definitely active income, and people will be calling me up when they need stuff fixed and stuff like that. But it is a good way to potentially reduce housing expenses as well. Because if you're living in a duplex or a triplex or whatever, oftentimes you can have your rent at a rate at which it would actually pay off your mortgage itself. So you'd essentially be living for free, which is called house hacking, which is essentially what I'm looking to do. So there is a lot of benefits to living in a multifamily that you own and renting out the other units to people, because it can actually allow you to live for free, which is a cool thing that I see about investing in real estate. Next, I see it as a way to diversify my portfolio further, because right now I am solely invested in stocks, don't have any bonds, don't have any other assets, don't have any gold or any cryptos or any of that. So I think I do need to diversify out of stocks a little bit, just because I don't want to be too overexposed to the stock market if a stock market crash were to hit. And I also see this as a good way to start building a portfolio young, because the younger you start, the more compounding you can take advantage of, and the more growth you can see in your investments over time if you start young, which is what I plan to do. So I see three big advantages to investing in real estate over any other kind of investment that I see. Now, these three advantages are: the first one is you have more control over your investments. So the first advantage is control. And what I mean by control is you can force appreciation of a building of real estate. Whereas with stocks and bonds, you have no control over the value of your investment. I mean, you can choose which investments to put money into based on what you think is going to appreciate in value. However, with real estate, you have the option to buy a property in poor condition, fix it up, and have that property be worth more now than it was when you bought it. So that is a way that you can control your investments that is not available to stock and bond and other crypto, gold investors. You can't influence the value of your investment with these things, but you can with real estate. Next thing that I see is, and also going with that, sweat equity. So you can put in sweat equity, and what sweat equity is really, it means you put in the work to make something worth more. So like if I buy a house that's not in great condition, and then I personally go in, fix it up myself, don't pay anybody to do it, but fix it up myself, that is sweat equity that I'm putting into this house, and now the house is worth more. I didn't have to pay anymore, but I just put in my sweat, my labor into this house, and that is building sweat equity in the house. So that's sweat equity. That's another benefit of real estate that is not available to other investment vehicles. Next one, steady income. So real estate is a way to provide steady income through rental properties. In my opinion, that's what I'm looking at investing in, is rental properties. So that would provide me a steady income from the tenants that are living there, as long as they keep paying, which ideally they will, but realistically, there are going to be problematic tenants with any building, with any property owner. So that is definitely something that I will have to work with and keep in mind, that there will be people who are not going to be paying me on time and stuff like that I'm going to have to deal with. But that's definitely something. Steady income is great because it allows you to build towards financial freedom. So when you have these sources of income coming in that you have to do minimal work for, and they're just going to keep coming in every single month, that is a great way for you to be building income and building towards your financial freedom. So when it comes to generating income, there are really three main sources of income that you can generate. You can generate active income, which is where you go to work and sit down in your chair 9 to 5, and you get paid based on the hour, based on your salary or whatever. Next way is investment income. So you put money in and it starts working for you. And the last way is passive income. So you create something that brings you wealth continuously. So my real estate investing would be a combination of investment income and passive income. And I think it's a great way for me to diversify away from active income that I would get at my job. So I think it's a great way to do that as well. And lastly, we got tax benefits. So there are a lot of tax benefits for those who decide to invest in real estate, because the government wants you to invest in real estate. They want you to buy a house. They want you to live out that American dream. So they're going to give you some incentives to do so. So it's really easy to grow your portfolio once you get one started. Well, not really easy, but so the government makes it a little bit easier for you to grow a portfolio once you actually have one started through something that they call a 1031 exchange. So a 1031 exchange basically lets you play the game of Monopoly in real life, and it lets you trade in properties. It lets you sell properties without paying tax on them if you transfer the money that you got from selling that property into a bigger property. So you can basically upgrade from your 3 or 4 green houses into a big red hotel with this 1031 exchange that the government is going to allow you to defer your tax payments pretty much indefinitely. So if you keep 1031 exchanging your properties up and up and up, then eventually you don't have to pay taxes at all until maybe someday you die. If you never sold your investments until you die, and you just use them for passive income, then your heirs, your kids, get your properties, and then they don't have to pay taxes on them because the taxes just poof, disappeared because you 1031 exchanged that property. But again, I'm not a tax expert, not a tax specialist. Definitely talk to an attorney, registered tax advisor. Don't take my word for anything I say. Just a kid on YouTube. But back to the tax stuff, it's really, it's easy to grow and build your wealth over time with that 1031 exchange, which is a huge benefit that I see to real estate investing for the long term. So now let's get into the stuff, the real information here. How am I going to do it? What am I going to do to get that real estate portfolio started? Well, I've got 4 steps that I'm thinking about that I've got 4 steps that I'm in the process of doing as we speak. So the first step, step 1, is building credit. So credit, I preach it a lot on this channel. Credit is very important, especially if you're looking to get started in real estate investing. Because for me personally, I don't even have the money in my bank account to go out and buy like a dumpy old single family house, much less a duplex or triplex or quadplex that would be able to generate some decent rent payments. So for me personally, I'm gonna need to borrow money from somebody, whether it be a bank or a private lender or whatever, but I'm gonna need credit for that. So I'm gonna need credit. Step 2 is what I'm gonna need to do is I'm going to need to build capital. So that is what I'm also in the process of doing right now. Going out, hustling, making money at 2 part-time jobs, and some side hustles as well. So I'm definitely out there hustling, making some capital that I can potentially put into my real estate investing once I accomplish all of these steps. So capital is something that I'm going to need to be able to invest in real estate, because you need money to buy stuff. So that's why we're going to need capital. Number 3 thing that I'm going to need is knowledge. So I'm going to need to know more than I do right now, because there's always more to know. And I will be the first one to admit that I know very little about real estate investing in comparison to like anybody else. But I just want to share with you guys what I actually do know and what steps I'm going to be taking to get there. Because right now, I'm not a real estate expert. I don't own any real estate. So obviously I can't be a real estate expert because I don't even own any. But I'm trying to learn more every single day. I've been listening to at least 2 hours of the Bigger Pockets podcast. Shout out to Bigger Pockets. But I've been listening to at least 2 hours of that podcast like every single day, which is a great way to get exposed to a lot of different real estate stories and learn about how people are actually investing in real estate in the real world. So that is awesome. But number 4 is the most important step, in my opinion. Most important thing I need to build is a team. I need to build myself a solid team of people who are supportive and who are going to allow me to help me reach my goals. So right now, since I'm so young, it's going to be really tough for me to get approved for a loan from a bank big enough to go out and buy a house with. So I'm going to need a team of people to go in it with me. And I'm going to need experienced people who know what they're doing, who know the real estate market. And ideally, I'm going to need a partner who has money but no time. Because what I have to offer this partner is I've got time and I've got hustle. But ideally, I'll find a partner who has money and experience, who is able to like mentor me and sort of guide me through what it takes. Because I think experience is like the most valuable teacher, in my opinion. I think people who have actually been through something are the best teachers and the best people to get information from. So ideally, I'll be able to find somebody who has that experience, who has that money, but does not have the time or the hustle to go out, find deals, and make stuff happen. Because that's the ideal partnership, in my opinion, right now. So that's what I got for you guys. That's my real estate investing. That's what my goals are for the next, 6 months going forward. So hold me accountable to that and check back in 6 months so we can see where I'm actually at with these goals. So that was just my real estate investing in a nutshell, what I want to do, how I want to do it, why I want to do it. So if you guys enjoyed this video at all, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, leave me a comment below if you are a real estate investor, some tips you think I should know, I don't know, anything you think about real estate investing, let me know in the comments below. Share this video with a friend. I'll see you tomorrow, and until next time.